Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hello, hello. Hi. I'm so excited to see everybody. Hello. I'm going to assume that we're going to have quite a few questions in regards to LA City's moratorium ending and the new ordinance coming out. Let me see. Hi, Victor. Hi, Victor. Hi, everybody. Are we ready to start chit-chatting? You guys tell me if we want to briefly talk about what's going on in the city of Los Angeles or if we want to talk about other things. You guys tell me. So, how did I know there was going to be somebody here that wanted to know about what's going on February 1st in LA City and LA County? Hey, there you go. So let's talk about it briefly. LA City and LA County's moratoriums are both set to expire on January 31st. And I'll tell you right now, the city's moratorium will expire on January 31st for the city of LA. And there is a new ordinance that will take control starting February 1st. What they've done is they've allotted additional protections for tenants, okay? I'm gonna try to keep my personal opinions and emotions out of this because it's bureaucracy and bullshit at its finest. And I'll explain to you why I say that in just a second, okay? In the new ordinance for LA City, you will be able to do evictions for failure to allow entry. You will not be able to do evictions for unauthorized occupants or unauthorized pets until January 31st of 2024. It gets better, folks. I gotta actually go get my list. I left my list on my desk and my alarm's going off. So let me turn that off so that we don't get interrupted anymore. I don't like to be interrupted while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so basically we have to wait one more year for unauthorized occupants and unauthorized pets, but we will be getting control back for failure to allow entry. Now, going forward, and I gotta go grab a sheet of paper off my desk. Give me 2 seconds, okay? Sorry, I'm back. Okay. The new for-cause eviction regulations override current AB 1482 for-cause outline. Prior to this action, most single-family homes and condos were exempt from eviction controls. The new policy requires enumerated reasons for an eviction to proceed, and some elements differ dramatically from AB 1482, such as the amount of relocation fees required in some instances, and then the 1-year vetting period before the law becomes applicable has been reduced to 6 months. I don't like this. If you increase rents more than 10%, then you're going to have to most likely pay a forced payment of relocation assistance. This type of rent increase, hold on, I'll go backwards. It's a rent trigger threshold, okay? If you've raised the rent 10% or less, it would force a payment of relocation assistance. If a type of rent increase issued and leads the renter to move, then, and mind you, these are concept laws. This one hasn't been implemented yet, but what they're trying to do is make it so that those of us that can raise rent over 10%, if we do that, then we have to give 3 months of rent as a relocation fee along with the city's implemented amounts. And I want to say it's $1,144 or $1,177 as the relocation fee. So it would be 3 months of rent if you increase rents over 10% that you would have to pay as a relocation fee along with the city's amount. I'm not too worried about that. And I'll be honest with you, most of us aren't trying to raise rents over 10% because we don't look good in orange. California is always in a state of emergency, it seems like. So be careful with raising over 10%. And I wouldn't feed too much into that because the chances of you legally being able to raise over 10% are slim and far between. So I'm not too concerned about that. It's on a rent freeze for another year, Victor. No rent increases in the city of LA. What scares me about this ordinance is it says, and surrounding rent controlled areas. Wait a minute, surrounding rent controlled areas. Are you talking about the 144 unincorporated cities in LA County as being a rent controlled area? Paying attention? I don't like the way this is written, okay? They are going to do some tweaking to it and some vamping to it, but I don't like the way that it's written. I have my own little blonde brain telling me, wait a minute, the city of LA is not going to let all of the county of LA's RSO properties off the hook so quickly. So I got a feeling, it's not set in stone, that they may try to pass additional protections for the unincorporated cities of LA County. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that that's happening, but it makes sense of another way they could protect tenants by doing that. That's why I'm thinking that way, but I could be wrong. Here we go. Here's the fun part. Starting in February, if you have a studio apartment, market rent is considered $1,534. 1 bedroom is $1,747. 2 bedroom market rent is considered $2,222. 3 bedrooms is $2,888, and 4 bedrooms is $3,170. Patty, why are you giving us these numbers based on how many bedrooms we have? Because your tenant has to be that far behind in rent before you can do an eviction. I'll tell you how my blonde brain processes this. Okay, so if I have a 2-bedroom apartment, I have to be $2,222 behind before my landlord can evict me. So wait a minute, let me get this straight. As a tenant, I can be $1,000 short on my rent 1 month and my landlord can't touch me. And then the following month, I can be $1,000 a month behind in the rent. And I'm still not at $2,222 yet. So they can't evict me. It's like a forced savings account. Make sense? And I could tell you right now that you will no longer get rent in the month of December because the tenants will use that rent to buy Christmas and then pay you back when they get their income tax refund. It's a given. But now this is set in stone. We're not going to be able to until they're market rent delinquent to start an eviction in the city of LA. It's really going to hurt those mom and pop landlords that's rents are severely under market value. Let me give you an example. I have a 2-bedroom in LA, $800 a month. I have to wait until they're $2,222 behind before I can even serve a 3-day. If I was a savvy tenant, I would pay just enough rent to stay under that mark. Make sense? This is a forced savings account, folks. Oh, I know you can't always read my numbers on this stupid thing, but I'm trying. It's a forced savings account for tenants at our expense. You call it whatever you want. I know if I wanted to have Christmas for my kids, I wouldn't pay my rent, or I wouldn't pay all of it, and I'd use the forced savings account now to buy me some time. And for those of us that have those inventive tenants, they're going to figure out how to borrow this money without you being able to touch them. Mark my words. Okay, so new dollar amounts. There's three things we need to talk about. New dollar amounts, I gave you those. We talked about those. The moratorium. Let's go completely off subject. Can we please jump down a rabbit hole and chase a squirrel really quickly? Because I'd really like to do that. You ready? Okay, here goes the squirrel. This moratorium that is ending on the last day of this month, and the new ordinance that starts on February 1st, makes me wonder. Because in the ordinance documentation, they had to give numbers as to why this ordinance needed to be listed. And their findings are that about 138 households are not covered by RSO. 138,000 households. And they've done a study and they think that 220,000 residents in LA will not be able to pay their rent moving forward because they've been affected by COVID. They could have lost their job because of it. They could have got sick because of it. It could have been anything, okay? But they're saying that they've done a study and they assume about 220,000 residents are not going to be able to pay the rent moving forward in LA. And that's why they've implemented these additional protections. Here's my issue. Last time I checked, and I haven't done this recently, I can only assume that the number has gotten larger since our borders have been opened. But the population of the city of Los Angeles was 11 million in 2019. 11 million people. So we're catering to less than 5% of the population of the city. My rant is now over, okay? I'll behave. I just want to point out that all of these rules are being extended for only 220,000 people. And I know that 220,000 people is a lot, but not when you have 11 million. Okay? Patty, don't say anything bad. I don't agree with this. It's highway robbery. It's extortion. It's taking over. They're going to steal our properties from us if we're not cautious about how we maneuver forward. Okay. And the county is considering 6-month extension is what I'm being told. So the city is ending, but their new ordinance will kick in. Their new ordinance is garbage. It's in place for the next year. And I say it's garbage because it doesn't help us as landlords, okay? I'm gonna open this up to questions because I know I'm gonna get a butt ton of them. And please remember 2 things. This ordinance doesn't have a number yet. Okay, everybody got that? This ordinance for the city of LA currently does not have a number yet. meaning that it is signed, but it is not set in stone. They can make changes. They can make adjustments. Okay. So what I'm telling you could change in the next 5 days. No joke. Okay. Please remember that. We have an idea of what's going to happen, but we don't have everything set in stone yet. Okay. Now I'm going to go to questions because I saw a lot of them. So hang on. When can we increase rent 10%? Victor, don't do it yet. Wait and we'll talk. We'll talk on February 1st. Let's see how this is going to go. And I'm being honest with you. Will owners be able to evict for major renovations in the county of LA? Most likely, yes. Is Agla going to sue? Arlene Agla sues everybody. Just saying, just saying. Yeah, Agla most likely will sue. I mean, let's face it, we're sick of this. This has been going on for 3 years. What the what? 2020, 2021, 2022, 2020, 2021, 2022, and now we're at 2023.
Patty, what happened to item 41A? I read that is extension of moratorium. What do you know about it?
Okay, ask me that one more time.
There is an item called item number 41A that 2 supervisors in Los Angeles County are proposing.
That's what I was talking about, is they're talking about doing an extension for 6 months in the county of LA.
Okay, what happened so far?
I don't know yet. I'm being honest with you. I tried to look at what's going on this much because I learned during the pandemic that it changes so much that I would lose my mind trying to report to you on the coulda, shoulda, woulda, mighta. I don't want to do that to you guys, and I don't want to put myself through that stress. What I would rather do is wait till it's implemented and then tell you guys what the rules are and a better way to combat it. Fair enough?
Hi, it's Linda. I sent you what I just got from the Southern Cities organization, and they are saying they're extending it to March of 23, the county supervisors. So I just sent you like a screen grab.
Yeah, extending it for how long? 6 months?
Oh, March of 23. The eviction moratorium.
Oh, just 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the 6 months, the year. 2 months, I can handle that. And I'm not too concerned. But it's a good point here is a lot of bouncing pieces, a lot of moving parts. We may not know until it happens. So I hate to say this to you guys again, be patient, okay? They could make some changes before this is assigned an ordinance number, is what I'm trying to say to you. So just because this is out and we're all looking at it does not mean that it is set in stone yet. They still can make some changes to it. That's what I'm trying to say. Can you repeat the 3-bedroom amount, please? Hang on, let me go backwards and make sure I get everybody's things. Linda. This extension would prohibit property owners from filing evictions for tenants who brought unauthorized occupants or unauthorized pets into their, yes, that's correct. The supervisors are working on obtaining more resources to aid in rent relief. Yeah, and I hear you. 45 million relief program to prioritize landlords with no more than 4 rental units. The small landlord assistance provides up to $30,000 per rental unit. Landlords would need to agree not to evict tenants over unpaid rent to receive the funding. I completely and totally understand that. We'll see how it goes, because I don't know where they're pulling the funding from. I mean, let's face it, America's broke. I'm sorry, hate to tell you that if you didn't know, but our country's broke. Can you repeat the 3-bedroom dollar amount, please? So as it stands, we can now start 3-day notice on February 2nd if we haven't received the rent on February 1st for the month of February only. Add that part, please, Melanie. At this point, yes, but let's wait the extra 5 days to make sure they don't throw any Trojan horses in the middle of our event, okay? 3-bedroom is $2,888. Let me give them to you real quick again. If you guys want to jot these down, I write S for studio, then 1, 2, 3, and 4 for how many bedrooms. A studio is 1534. A 1-bedroom is 1747. A 2-bedroom is 2222. A 3-bedroom is 2888. And a 4-bedroom is 3170. I hope everybody got that. If you don't, shoot me out an email, let me know, I'll repeat it again. Anything new for the city of San Diego? Not yet. Not yet. I don't see anything. It's gonna be adapting, let me tell you. City of San Diego is looking at the city of LA's rent control ordinance. Metropolis versus Metropolis, go figure. All right, is everybody stressed out just enough to go, what? What are we doing, Patty? What should we do? Okay, you guys got questions for me. I know it's coming. They are trying to help protect the 200,000 tenants that can't pay. No joke. That's what this is all about. And I understand that 250,000 people is a lot of people. Okay, it is by far. But in a city of 11 million, it's so unfair that we can't raise rents when we keep getting increases on water, trash, electricity, etc. It's crazy. Can we protest? Get involved with AGLA. I couldn't agree with you more. The cost of living has gone up for all of us. Everything's gone up except our paychecks. And when I say that, please forgive me. I consider our tenants' rent a paycheck. Okay? Because if that's the income I'm getting to make my bills, that's my paycheck. And my paycheck isn't going up, but everything else is. Yeah, they're talking about national rent control. Okay, I'm gonna remind you guys of something, and it's probably gonna piss off Val. I don't know if she's in here. Val, if you're in here, you know I love you like a fat kid loves cake, okay? Let me say this. Let me see if she's in here first. Oh, where are you, Val? There you are. I know you're in here now. You're in trouble. I want to remind you guys of something that made me throw up in my mouth. No joke, when I heard it. And it was the night Biden was elected. And it wasn't that night. He was signing all those bills, remember, and using a different pen each time and whatever he was doing. He signed a butt ton of bills that he was vetoing or changing, stop the wall, everything Trump did, he was trying to undo, and he made this big production about it. While he was signing those, he said something. He said that the state of California has a wonderful rent control program, and he'd like to implement their laws across the nation. So when Biden walked into office, he made it very clear that he wanted California's bullshit rent control to infect the entire country. So I kindly remind you to rewatch that and listen to Biden, because he said it out of his own mouth. California has a wonderful platform for rent control that I would love to see implemented across the nation. I threw up in my mouth. Talk about being disgusted quickly. Okay, that's the plan. It's up to us to use our voice to not make it happen, okay? Yes, national rent control, no jokes. Get on AGLA's bandwagon. They will be filing lawsuit, no doubt. Get on AGLA's bandwagon. It's what they do. They fight for us as landlords. I missed the installation dinner because I had a personal emergency. Sorry about that, but I was dressed and ready to go. I just couldn't make it. I had a personal emergency. I'm very upset that I didn't make it because I wanted to talk to the lobbyists and let them know how bad some of us are financially bleeding. And I wanted to ask some questions that would let me know what we're up against going forward. Because some of these things that are being said and now being implemented make my skin crawl. Yeah. Don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it. It's going to be tricky moving forward. Thank God the COVID protections are going away. I'm happy about that. Because we still don't have any case law in it on our cases. And as far as increasing rents in LA City, I don't think it's going to happen. And we need to do something. We need to say something. Something needs to happen. It's becoming atrocious. I'm surprised Gavin Newsom hasn't declared a state of emergency for landlords being duped by tenants in LA City and LA County. My theory is, as soon as they're behind in delinquent rent, start the eviction. Get it done. Get possession, stop the bleeding, and then figure out what you're doing. Are you moving in? Are you selling? Are you re-renting? What are your intentions? Yeah. I'm not happy about this extension, just so you guys know. I don't love it. I don't love it one bit. And it only makes sense for them that, and forgive me for saying this, okay? It only makes sense for them to also try to protect the unincorporated cities in the county that are governed by RSO. They're gonna find a way to protect those people too. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, okay? Remember, high concentration of tenants means heavy restrictions against landlords. So we see that in LA, we see that in San Diego, we see that in Sacramento, we see that in the Bay Area, where we have metropolises. Okay, San Bernardino County served a Section 8 tenant with a rent increase notice this month. The tenant responded by saying rent can't be increased due to the tenant being a victim of domestic violence and referenced SB 1017, the domestic violence eviction bill signed into law September. I'm not evicting, just increasing the rent. I believe this tenant is mistaken and has incorrectly interpreted the law. Tenants misinterpret the law? Never. I'm sorry, I'm being funny. So I don't know who did it. Don't know who did it. But somebody put on the internet that carpet cleaning is wear and tear. And I've been fighting that for almost 20 years. Carpet cleaning. That doesn't sound like wear and tear to me. It sounds like cleaning. So yes, I agree with you and I understand tenants interpret things improperly. In my review, the bill primarily relates to lease terminations. Yes, you're absolutely correct. I completely understand and know exactly what you're speaking of. It's the domestic violence bill. It's what allows a tenant to be let out of their lease with a 14-day notice if they were a victim of domestic violence. 14 days to let out of your lease. So I'd go back to the tenant and I'd ask them, so did you want to give me your 14-day notice that you're moving because you're a victim of domestic violence? Because that's what you're claiming, right? Nothing says you can't increase the rent. You're spot on. Let me teach you guys something right now. Please pay attention, get out your pens. This is one you want to remember, okay? It's something that goes hand in hand together. Whenever you, the landlord, raise the rent, that's when the tenant tells you about all the repairs they keep forgetting. They go hand in hand together. If you're asking for more money, they're going to tell you about everything that's wrong. You do the same thing. It's human nature, okay? So don't get upset about it. Just know that when you increase the rent, you're going to get a list of repairs that need to be made. They go hand in hand together. So when you increase rents, don't get upset when you get a long laundry list of repairs and wear and tear issues and chipped paint and blah, 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 blah. Because we do the same thing. Okay? Please remember that. If you raise the rent, you're going to have a list of repairs come shortly afterward. It's just what happens. Don't get upset by it. It's kind of like if you have a single family residence and the tenants call you and tell you, we need additional trash cans. Why? Because you have additional occupants? They go hand in hand together. If you're looking for something that's a smell complaint or an odor complaint, you're most likely looking for something that's deceased. It could have 2 legs, it could have 4. But if you're dealing with a smell complaint, you're probably chasing something that died. So prepare yourself mentally for that, okay? 3 things go hand in hand together. Raise rents, they tell you about everything that's broken. Don't get upset about it. It's natural, it's normal, it's what happens, okay? So if you raise the rent, be prepared to do a bunch of repairs. Okay. If a tenant in a single family residence tells you they need additional trash cans, it's most likely because they have unauthorized occupants in there with them. Ding, light bulb, come on. And if you're chasing a smell, you're looking for something that's probably deceased. So keep that in mind. A lot of people say, oh man, there's this horrible smell and it's these neighbors that are talking about it. And the one neighbor that isn't there talking about it, yeah, you might want to go check on him. Okay. Click, click. Makes sense, I hope. When I raise the rent, I send the repair request paper along with it, the notice, so they can have to put it in writing. At least you get it. You know what's coming. You understand. Action, reaction, cause, effect. Same thing. Okay. So all you guys waiting to raise them rents, get ready, because the first thing that comes with a rent increase is a bunch of repairs. And I speak out of experience, nothing more, nothing less. And I think everybody in here would agree with that statement. I don't understand. My tenant's pissed off at me. They gave me all these repairs they want me to do. What'd you do to them? I raised the rent. Cause, effect, action, reaction. You pick. Call it whatever you want. Just know they go hand in hand together. It's standard operating procedure, okay? And let's face it, if all of a sudden the bank said, you have to pay me $1,000 more a month for the airspace above your house on your rent, and they raised us, we'd be complaining about all the pollutants in that airspace above our property, wouldn't we? Wouldn't we? Yeah, okay. So now we understand that it's cause and effect. Don't get upset when you raise their rent, and they give you a list of repairs that need to be done. They go hand in hand together. Yeah. In LA County, at this point, I wouldn't be in a hurry to raise the rent just quite yet. I can tell you that law firms are finding it difficult to do evictions with rents that were increased during the pandemic period. And they're actually asking the landlord to remove any increases from the notices before they serve them. So I've seen that happen too. It's too hard to argue it, just make it go away. All right, anybody have questions for me? And I know I'm gonna get pummeled about LA City's new ordinance, and I'll do my best to help you understand it and answer questions, but it's not set in stone yet. So it could be changed, it could be tweaked, it could be revamped, it could be anything. And I learned long ago, look at it, get an idea about it, but don't focus on it because it could change again. No joke. So that's just my opinion to you, not my advice. it could change some more. We could see some changes in it. And we'll go from there. If you guys have nuisance tenants going on right now, do something about them, get them out of there. We've had enough of police reports and all that other garb going on. Get rid of your nuisances as quickly as you can. Does anybody have a question for me? It could be about anything. Dispositions of security deposit. Anything new coming for San Bernardino or Riverside counties? Nope. Nope. San Bernardino County, Riverside County, Inyo County, Kern County, Orange County, and Ventura County. Don't see any changes looming over us, with the exception of the state law that I am watching diligently. I think it's AB 14. Where they're trying to make it so that the maximum allowed security deposit can only be comparable to 1 month's rent. That did not pass yet. If it does pass, you will not get a warning. A new law came out today. Why would they warn you that you're not going to be able to take a higher deposit anymore? They're not going to warn you about that. It's just going to happen. Okay. So if that's a probability or a possibility, you may want to take that into consideration when you're renting now. And if you can't figure out what I'm trying to tell you, we need to have a whole nother conversation. Okay. If you're renting now, I would follow the current laws on maximum deposits allowed to be collected, which is 1 month's rent if they're active military, 2 months rent if they are a vacant unit, unfurnished, and 3 months rent if it's fully furnished. You can't throw a couch, a bed in there and call it fully furnished, folks. It doesn't fly. So fully furnished would be couches, tables, beds, everything. All they need to do is bring in linens and utensils. No joke. Okay. The new law would change it so only 1 month's rent is allowed to be collected as a security deposit. So if you're renting now, you may want to consider a little higher deposit. Anthony, do you recommend allowing tenants to mount TVs? No. Let me teach you a secret, okay? There are most common things that a tenant does that makes them be in a material breach of their lease contract. Number one, the first thing tenants do when they rent a new house is the same thing you do when you buy a new house. What's the first thing you do when you buy a new house? You change the locks because you don't know who has a key, right? At least that's what I do when I buy a new house. Whether I'm going to live in it or I'm going to rent it, I change locks. I don't know who had a key. Tenants do that too. Wouldn't that be a material breach of their lease contract and a reason you could evict them? Other things they do that could constitute a material breach of their lease is installing Ring doorbells or a camera system, painting, or installing a flat screen TV and mounting it to the wall, because then it becomes real property, not personal. Okay, so there's some key things you can look for when you're going to do an inspection. I always try to use my key before I knock. If it unlocks the door, it unlocks the door. Most of the time, it doesn't turn it. Of course I knock, but I turn the key. Yeah, it don't work. You change the locks. Got it? All right, let me see if we have anything else. I don't think we do. When I raise the rent, I send the repair. I saw that, okay? Perfect. Does anybody have anything else? This is kind of a weird one because we had a big thing happen. I gave you guys all up to date and nobody has any questions about it because you guys understand it could still change. I love you for understanding. My Section 8 wife. My Section 8 wife tenant left. Husband is still there. Okay. Your tenants on Section 8, the wife left, the husband's still there. Got it. Sometimes it takes me a couple seconds to catch up. I am blonde. Section 8 says the only person whose name Section 8 has to leave for them to stop payments, even though other guys are listed approved for tenancy as members. I think what you're trying to tell me, and I see that it's a direct message to me, sorry. If the people that are approved by Section 8 are living in the house, that's fine. If one of them vacates, Section 8 needs to be notified. The chances of them changing their HAP amount, which is how much you get paid every month, is high because they base it on collective income, on you as an entity, as a whole, individuals as a whole. So with that being said, Section 8 may cancel their HAP contract and then you're not going to get any rent. It just depends. You need to wait and see what Section 8 does moving forward. They may say that their voucher doesn't cover how many bedrooms they have now and require them to move. Anything can happen. Okay, so I'm trying to let you know, you got to wait to see what Section 8 does. They could just cancel them outright and then they owe you all the rent. So you got to wait to see what Section 8 does and then react accordingly. And if you need help with that, call me. Why can't Val send me a message? You guys always see Val's messages and I can't see them and you guys can see them. I don't know why, but I'm going to work with my web guy to fix this. I probably pushed the wrong button. Just saying. Patty, Val can't send a message to you. Okay, can you guys see what Val's typing? Because I'd be more than happy if one of you wants to unmute yourself or Val can unmute herself, or I don't know why this happened last week too, where who can see messages? Hold on, let me click on that. Who can see my messages? Okay. How come Val can't talk to me? Does anybody know what Val wants? Val's good people. We got to keep her happy. But why can I not? I'm trying so hard. Val, can you unmute yourself and just talk to me? What can you do, Val? Because I see you in the thing and it says you don't have a camera on, but you have a microphone and it's muted. But you have it muted. I don't. Everybody's that way. That is just the weirdest thing. I'm going to have to get my web guy to figure out what is going on. Any changes coming to incorporated cities in LA County? I don't know yet. We'll see when they extend the county's moratorium. There's been talk of them extending the county. There's been talk of them not extending the county. Some people are saying they're going to extend the county 2 months. Some are saying 6 months. We don't know yet. We usually find out the day before. So my guess is on the 30th or the 31st, that's when we'll know exactly what's going on, but not until then. Too many moving pieces. And my guess would be that LARSO, LA City's rent control that now governs unincorporated cities of LA County, I got a feeling that they're going to have additional protections. And it's just because it makes sense. The city's doing it. Why wouldn't they do it for their newly adopted county members? Sorry. Anybody have anything else? Looks like I'm doing crime-free tomorrow in Lake Elsinore. So if any of you are in that area and are going to that crime-free lunch tomorrow, I will see you there. Anybody have anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to end this for today. And next Wednesday, we will be back with a vengeance with new updates on what those changes are, etc. In fact, I might even get on here on the 1st or the 30th. I'll send an email out so that you guys know. That way I can get you guys all dialed in and making sure you know what the new rules are. Does anybody need me to repeat market rent amounts for LA City for a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, or 4 bedroom? If you do, let me know. Hi, Patty. Thank you. Take care. How do you handle small paint issues like picture frames when tenants move out? Meaning things that if they put a nail in the wall, that's damage. If they pull the nail, if they put a nail in the wall, it's wear and tear. If they pull the nail out of the wall, that hole is damage and you could charge them for it. So Arlene, if you want to talk to me about what you can and can't charge as far as painting goes, call me. I'd be more than happy to explain that to you to the best of my ability, because it's not my decision to make. It's up to a judge in a court of law, just so we're all clear. But there are some things that you can do to help protect you from that. How did the city of LA arrive at market rent amounts? G. Jones, they did that based on the consumer price index. It will change annually just with the CPI. So you know how they tell us the CPI plus 5% for statewide, and the city, you can only raise the CPI? Yes. The consumer price index is what concluded what market rent was. Okay. And it will change every April with the CPI. So market rent will change. We'll see this go up a little bit, but when we start seeing the economy tank and real estate tank, and I'm talking about what we saw happen in 2006 and 2007. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, we're there now. Okay. The market was a huge supply and demand issue, and now it's stagnant. Houses are sitting. Things aren't closing escrow like they were. It's gone what we call stagnant. So we'll either see prices start coming down to stop the stagnant. There will be something that goes on to stop that from being stagnant. Thanks, Patty. That question was Anthony. No problem. I can't see all these messages. Apparently Val's trying to talk to me and I'm just going to call her because I can't see anything she sends me. It's so weird. Can a 30-day notice be valid by email? No, it's not recognized by the court in the state of California. Email does not constitute proper service of a notice. You can do it in addition to, but it does not constitute proper service. Email is not recognized as proper service. What are the amounts? Okay, are you ready? And how I would write this down to cheat really quickly, just so I had it, is I would write S for single, and then I'd write 1, 2, 3, and 4, because it's a single, a 1 bedroom, a 2 bedroom, a 3 bedroom, a 4 bedroom. Okay, so studio apartment, market rent for LA City for now is considered $1,534, so $1,534. A 1 bedroom is $1,747, so $1,747. A 2 bedroom is $2,222, $2,222. A 3 bedroom is $2,888, so $2,888. A 4 bedroom is $3,170, so that's $3,170. I'll be interested to see if they try to implement this in the cities that are governed by RSO, which would be our 144 unincorporated cities within the county. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll see. I'm still frustrated that we can't do evictions in the city of LA for unauthorized occupants or unauthorized pets. They are severely taking advantage of our kindness. But I think they're trying to make it so they could do that no matter what anyway. Who knows? It just, some of the laws they pass don't make sense. But when you stand back, look at the big picture, at the ones that didn't pass, kind of tells the story if you pay attention. Is that for the city of LA or all county? City of LA only at this point. And the reason why I say that is their ordinance, and I have it here in my hand, says city of LA or surrounding rent controlled areas. Surrounding rent controlled areas, do you mean the 144 unincorporated cities in LA County that are now governed by LARSO? Don't know yet. But that's how I think they're gonna tag it in, is anything that's governed by LARSO. But I don't know, I'm guessing. Sometimes I don't guess great, sometimes I do. You never know. If it makes sense for landlords, it won't pass. If it helps tenants and totally destroys the landlords, it's gonna be the new law. I'm playing, but being funny, but being real all at the same time. So I know you guys, it's frustrating. And we feel like we're on a yo-yo. I get it. And yes, I still have a property in Inglewood and still in the city of LA. Damn it. So I'm with you, okay? I don't want to be, but I am. All right. If you guys need anything else, have any questions, something you want to talk about, I really don't want to talk too much about LA City or LA County until it's set in stone, because then I know facts and I'm giving you guys facts instead of could be, should be, might be, maybe. You guys know all those fogging techniques. You don't need to hear them come out of my mouth. So let's wait until it's set in stone so we have a better idea of what we're up against moving forward. And we'll go that direction as it arises. But don't be surprised if we see an extension in the county as well. They were talking about 2 months, 6 months. I think they're just going to do that in incorporated cities. Who knows? I don't know. I don't want to throw darts until something sticks. Just wait till it passes and then tell me about it. Are we required to provide heating and air conditioning? You are required to provide heat. That is a habitability issue on state law. Got it? As far as air conditioning, you're gonna need to check with the city you're in. Okay? If you have an air conditioner and the air conditioner breaks and your city does not require that you provide air conditioning, then it wouldn't be a habitability issue until you didn't fix it for 30 days. Then it would become a habitability issue. And heat is always required within the state. I can tell you air conditioning is not a requirement on a state law, but maybe a requirement in some municipalities. Okay, I can tell you that the city of Palm Springs and the city of Needles require air conditioning as a habitability issue. If the house doesn't have air conditioning, then you don't have to go buy it and put it in there. You don't have to upgrade the unit, but if you have it, it has to work. And it is a habitability issue in cities where they have high temperatures, if that makes sense. So we see that in Needles, we see that in Palm Desert, we see that in Barstow, okay? I can tell you right now, it is a habitability issue in the city of Palmdale. And the reason I know that is because an attorney called me in court one day and said, Patty, I need you to find out if AC is a habitability issue in Palmdale. So I called Palmdale Code Enforcement, found out it was, called the attorney right back, and that's how I know that one. Okay. So it's a city that's going to tell you whether or not air conditioning is a habitability issue or not. And where you have high heat temperatures, it's usually an issue. I don't think you're going to see Redondo Beach requiring air conditioning. Okay, but you may see Palm Desert requires air conditioning. It makes sense. Just saying. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. You have a great week. If you need me, you know how to find me. Let's keep our fingers crossed on these ordinances and moratoriums, and we'll go forward from there. Bye, guys. And Val, call me.